Hello everybody! Welcome to Friday Night D&D Session with the God Mode channel. I'm your host, Jayso. Tonight is Lucent Odyssey, our D&D mixed with Oregon Trail style campaign, Session 31. Who else is joining me on this fine Friday evening besides Luke, who's still out?
I guess that means I start.
That's
now I think about it. My name is Kevin, and I'm playing Clash Tar Druid.
That I am here for you.
Time.
All right, next.
What up, everybody? My name's Slim. I'll be playing a a bugbear rogue by the name of Uncle Jimmy. How you doing?
Hands that make you smile.
Thank you. Hey, I'm Kyle playing Professor Bark. He's a furball here.
There we go.
There he is. Play Professor Bark, Furball, Alchemist, Artificer, Circle of the Moon, Druid, Dean of Natural Sciences, at the illustrious Ravis Eterna.
Hey guys, it's your girl Amanda, and I'm playing Opie Stickyfoot, a Swarmkeeper Ranger.
Hey everybody, I'm Nick. I play Forte. He is a dwarven mechanic. He takes care of the well-wishers wagon, and we go from one place to another, hopefully not bringing scary monsters to the populations of peaceful towns.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, Luke is out for another week, but he should be back and joining us next week. And yes, I know the images may be out of place for some of them, but just deal with it. Just deal with it. You can get over it. Just watch the images as they light up for the characters, and you'll know who's here and who's actually talking as their character. That's the best way to do it. As always, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Stu Raptor. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Discordian, and anybody else who's here hanging out with us in the chat. I do appreciate that. Hey, if you want beautiful character art like we have here, go check out Amanda Otten. That is the handle in the chat for her Twitter. She does commissions. She did the beautiful artwork for our characters, which we all love. Did a great job. Go check her work out. At least just go give her some support. Give her some likes and follows. And if you're looking for some great commission stuff or maybe a campaign you're looking to get into or maybe run, go see if she's got any openings. Yeah, tonight is session 31. Keep in mind, everybody, that of course we use Twitch channel points here on the channel, so you can hand out those +1s. You can cast the random elated or forlorn condition that will last for an entire session. And I will try my best to notice those when I can, but of course some of my players here in chat can usually kind of catch that when they see it. And you get boosted Twitch channel points for following the channel and multiplied points for being a subscriber. But unless you're using your Twitch Prime sub, do not subscribe through Twitch because they take half of it, and they've made done some pretty terrible decisions over the past couple weeks, and I've just moved to a point where I'm just telling everyone, don't subscribe. If you want, instead go check out my Patreon and get inside looks at not only this campaign that happens on Friday nights, but also all the cool stuff that I'm getting ready to put together for a upcoming homebrew ttrpg called Gotcha Gimmicks. Monday and Wednesdays, go check that content out. You can join for as little as $2. Also, I have quite a few games that are open if you want to come and be a part of our campaign. I'd love to have you. You can go check out all the details over the Start Playing page. I have some Rise of the Wild Knot, which is a spelljammer campaign, and I have repurposed Lucent Odyssey since there's so much content here for some people who may have not had a huge chance to maybe be spoiled on a lot of stuff here for the adventure on the stream. You could go join in on that and engage in an open-ended hex crawl, sort of play at your own pace adventure yourself. So go check out the times, go check out the info over my Start Playing page. Those are pay-to-play campaigns, but they are well worth the money, I think, and you should go check them out. And at least share them with some friends, if not otherwise. Thank you so much for popping in. Quackastacka, hello! Thank you for popping in. I really appreciate it. Kenny says most companies are making questionable. Yeah, but Twitch is our wheelhouse, so they're especially just pointing two guns at both feet and pulling the trigger, and then with some bullets still left over, pointing both in their mouths at the same time, and double fisting some shots to their mouth. They're doing a terrible job, is what I'm saying. If you want to,
I was wondering how
So many
long
words.
it's gonna go on. Yeah.
yeah, I could go on. If you want to check out the homebrew rules for our campaign here, since it is a mix of Oregon Trail, and we do make use of a fair amount of homebrew ruling, go check out the rules over at our Google Docs there. You can just hit !rules if you'd like to and take a look. Yeah, that's it for all of my housekeeping notes. I'm going to go ahead and play the intro for the campaign, and then we're going to dive in, everybody, so be right back.
All right, I'll switch with you. Thank you, buddy.
Nice.
All
I got
right,
the
welcome
immediate
back,
wee wee.
everybody.
Take that card.
Okay, everyone happy with their inspiration cards?
Never.
Okay, sounds good to me. Distals, hello! Thank you so much for popping in and lurking. That's always so kind of you, Distals. I do appreciate it. How are your campaigns going on your end, Distals? I hope they're going well. I hope you're having a lot of fun. I always, sometimes I do kind of lurk in over on your channel, but I definitely lurk. I wish I could be more active, but it's usually when I'm either doing some freelance stuff or whatever. But happy to have you joining us. I hope things are going well. We got a +1 from Distals. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. We just started the session today, so welcome. Come on in, grab yourself some drinks and snacks, and enjoy. Why don't we roll some die to see who wants to give the recap from last week?
I'll take the bullet for it and recap.
Oh, all right. In that case, Slim taking the bullet, if you wouldn't mind, to the best of your ability, let us know what happened last time on.
Lucent Odyssey.
It's been like 6.5 whole days. I don't remember anything, but Uncle Jimmy sure as hell does. So, we were in quite the predicament last time. We had two jibble jobbles, walkie jabbas, whatever the hell they were.
Jabberwocks.
Yeah, them two. They them jabberwocks about to walk all over us. We were screwed. But luckily enough, Mr. Bark and Lincoln, playing better than he normally does, for some reason in this time and moment, synergized with Bark and learned how to move and juke about, and they got away from one of them. Mr. Forte was doing his best, grabbing our slowly dying druid friend and threw him on the cart, and let's see. I was running around like an idiot. I grabbed a kid. We all jumped on the cart, and hey, we got out of there. Bada boom. But that wasn't good enough because one of the Jabberwocks was touching our cart when we teleported back to the Serendals, and thanks to some expertise from us and a handful of guards, local law enforcement, we were able to take one of them down, get some rest, prepare, and then slowly trek back across with another quick port and a night's rest to stand where we are now and set a good trap. I gotta say, I feel like that was one of the most succinct plans that we have had, and we took down two Jabberwocks, 2 souls, and they hopefully a bunch of materials for Lincoln to turn into, you know, maybe a bug-eyed, long-necked creature like this or something. Oh yeah, and we repaired the cart, most importantly. I think that's about it.
Good stuff. I appreciate that recap. Very nicely done. Yes, as we left off last week, the party is, or I should say the well-wishers, are wrapping up their stint, kind of doing like the final missions in an open RPG before going towards the final, most difficult area of the game, the Flesh Plane. So with the blessing from the final muse in the last region here, the passage of the Flesh Plains, they are using their newfound ability to track each of the more fearsome regional foes or bosses that trek through the areas and attempt to take them down. They had just done so with this one here, which turned out to be not one but two Jabberwock, which be careful throwing those on your players, because so that burbling ability they have could be real nasty. But they were able to, in both a good fortune and bad fortune, teleported away and were able to kind of separate them, to take one out and then come back to take down the other one. So with two of them failed, Lincoln opens up his pearlescent bottle given to him by the Unseelie, who are a part of Karnak, drawing in 2 souls into the bottle, thus making, I think, what is that, just 2 now?
3, I think.
Yeah, we captured.
Who was a third?
Then we captured the false Hydra's shade.
Yeah, captured the
we did
false
that one.
Hydra, but I think you guys turned that in to Grimmacord, right?
We turned that one into him, and we got these 2, and the, if you count this one as 2, and the other one in the first area, because we torched the giant burning man before we knew about the vials.
This would
Correct.
be it then.
So then just 2, because dual Jabberwock.
Yeah. I felt like there was something in the rocky area that we got. Was there a big fight in that?
I
No,
don't
I
think
guess
so.
not.
Not since you've had the bottles.
so.
I think it's just 2
Yeah,
for
trying-
now. Not to say that there
Yeah.
can't be more, but for now I think 2.
I think it is just the 2, yeah.
So yes, as we dive back in, all of you stand in the thick, darkened, moist marshes. A felled Jabberwock, slain, covered in blood, with plenty of nicks, bruises, and tears on its form, its head and neck, lifelessly laying at its feet, its large eyes still open, a milky white pearlescent staring back at you all. What would you like to do? Also, does anybody want to run Lincoln real quick? Just for this session.
Yeah, I guess I could.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if it'll be hugely necessary, depending on what you guys do, but just in case.
Yeah.
Hey, Lincoln, let's go chop this boy up and get what we can at him, yeah?
Yes.
Did you guys already do something where you were some teeth off of this thing?
That was off the other one.
It was
So
the last one.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
I'm gonna see if I can get its jibber jabber gland, if not an eyeball.
Okay.
Can you help me locate the jibber jabber?
I say, could Lincoln give me an assist on this?
Probably sleight of hand.
Yeah, that works.
I can do that.
That is dual natural ones.
There's no way. Oh my gosh, dude.
Fantastic.
Yep.
I'm just gonna start stabbing the shit out of it then.
That's still a Fortino roll.
That's true.
Yeah.
Expertise, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, natty 1s, but still, that's a pretty strong check either way. After everyone spends a little bit of time sort of tending to their wounds and just kind of taking care of themselves, an hour passes while both Lincoln as well as Uncle Jimmy try to work at the corpse of the creature here. Uncle Jimmy, give me a d6 roll, please.
That's a 6.
Okay.
Feast or
There's
famine?
lots of meat here from the creature, but a lot of it is hard to sort of peel out from underneath the several deep-seated scales of this draconic enemy. So you're able to shear off about 6 pounds of meat from the creature, but you don't see anything that stands out specifically as like some sort of gland that gave this creature the ability to burble to confuse. That may have just been something that it naturally did that wasn't coming from a specific body part, but you're still able to, along with that meat, carve out the eye as a trophy, for better or for worse, along with 6 pounds of meat that you have.
Could I say just a couple of chopped up bones just to give to Lincoln?
Sure.
Okay. I'll just toss them in the inventory when he gets back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do help me by keeping those notes for him, please.
For sure.
All right. Jabberwock chopped up. There's a putrid smell that comes off the Jabberwock corpse that is not particularly inviting.
Terrible.
Okay.
So,
We should
team,
probably not be here for very long if we have made sure that this thing won't reanimate and come back alive. It's been dismembered, yes?
No, I don't think it's in any danger of coming back together. He points at this, like, mountains of viscera all over the place.
Could never be too serious anymore.
Jimmy and Lincoln have seen to that. But let's see. How far have we traveled?
Pretty far. We've
Napping
almost.
situation.
is there any other healing or anybody wants to do? Otherwise, what I'll do is I'll grab your tokens and we'll move all of them back over to the big map so you can start moving again if you're done with this area.
I think we're done with this area.
Are we heading back to base or?
Let's go too.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Can we look at the other map
Yeah,
and decide what we want to do?
Yeah, that's fine.
I thought we were gonna head south and look for the statue.
We can. Just remember the Blightstones. Or is that the other zone?
That's not this area.
Okay,
Other
then
zone. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to move it. I'm just grabbing your tokens now. Now that the map is fully formed in, hang on just a second. Let me swap. Now that the map is fully formed in, I'm just trying to keep the clock out of your way as much as possible with your tokens, so it's over on the left-hand side here of the Grey Doldrums. But yeah, you find yourselves on the far right side, just about to enter the area of this section over here.
Alright.
Yeah, I thought south to that big square was where we statue was area.
Yeah.
be a good idea. Do we need to rest up at all, or I think just Bark and I are at half. Everybody else should be okay.
We haven't healed up since we leveled up? Question mark?
No.
No.
Well, that's why Jason was just asking if we wanted to heal before.
gotcha.
It's not gonna go.
Yeah, you feel stronger, but that doesn't mean that you naturally fully like RPG heal all the way back up.
Yeah, we have. I think we should be good unless you guys need to take like a 1 hour short rest. We're almost towards camp time, anyways.
Yeah. I guess. Let's see.
I was gonna say, how much
How
movement do
far
we
have
have
we
left? Jason?
traveled? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you moved 3, so you probably have 2 more spaces to go before you have to. Or no, you started from the Helper's Handgun. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. So you got 1 more space at a normal pace before you need to rest.
Well, I don't really fancy moving at night if we don't have to. So I think maybe the best course of action is just pitch a tent here and sleep so we can get some of the day to travel.
Okay.
Even if it's wasted movement, we can start correcting that we're on a midnight schedule right now.
Use a Jabberwock as a bonfire.
Right.
Sounds good.
All right, you resting up for the evening?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
No,
so
unless somebody-
2, 4, 6, 8. So that's 8 hours off of 24. 16 left as you begin to set up tents. Let's move this. 16 hours. So 12 is going to put you at 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's 3 ticks off the harmonic flux. For whoever's keeping track of that, I think Amanda is. And as you all awake, you can go ahead and heal all your tokens. Your spell slots have returned. Give me a concentration or constitution check, please.
Did you give us more harmonic flux for killing that last one?
Actually, yes. So go ahead and mark those 3 off, but add an additional 15.
Nice. We're back up in the 90s, y'all.
Yeah.
I slept like a champ. Holy crap.
All right, that's a good boy.
You did the
card.
tauntaun thing inside the Jabberwock.
I'm just gonna sleep in here, guys.
Not that stuff. Hang on. I want the good boy cards. There you go.
All right, so we're going down to this big green square.
Going down.
And what's supposed to be there?
One of the stones. The
Face statues.
yeah.
Uh,
The hot cold stones.
If any of you guys have this issue when you're using Roll20, maybe it's only on Chrome, where like you'll have a tool tip pop up, and then for whatever reason it just stays on your screen and never goes away.
It's happened once or twice, yeah.
Holy shit! It's like triggering me so bad whenever I've been running D&D and stuff. It's just, especially when I'm playing music, it's just like 3 of them just sticking over on top of the chat, and I'm just like, oh my god. Okay, so team, well rested. However, with the full 24 hours necessary to rest to be able to move in additional 5 spaces, that puts you right at blight time again. It is night. Very sorry. I mean, you could always wait if you wanted to.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you have to rest whatever is left of a full 24 hours since your last time that you started moving. I promise this has always been a rule.
Oh, from the last time we were moving.
Or from when you started your trek. So from the Helper's Hand Guild moving here, that was an 8-hour trek. So you had to wait an additional 16 hours to be able to move again.
That because we had to hunt it at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all things considered then, does anybody have an objection to moving at night? Any reason we shouldn't?
We could take like 1 hour just to like make sure the cart's good, and then we could take a few squares at night. I mean,
I think we kind of have to. I mean, regrettably, we had to kind of become nocturnal for a little bit to hunt these down, so we kind of have to reset our sleep schedules. You know, have all-nighter.
Yes, well,
You remember those, don't you, Professor?
Yes. Yes, I do. I was just thinking like the backstory. I can't remember which backstory I decided to go with. Either he never went to school, or I think more likely, no, actually I don't. I was naturally gifted with this big and bulbous brain.
yeah, you a real egg there, Professor.
Definitely left you more time to socialize and attend all festivities than...
Yes. I was invited to all of the parties, that's correct. There wasn't a social function I was left out of.
You don't seem like the partier type to me.
So, how's the wagon? Is it,
You
How
can make a
does
check
the
on
wagon
it if
look?
you want to.
Let's see.
How does one check the wagon?
Investigation check probably be the best one. Although I'd take a perception too.
Where's the wagon's dipstick?
Oh man.
No, the wagon speaks to me at times when nobody's paying attention.
You are the one who's usually in charge of that, so go ahead and take one of those. Yeah, I would say Forte checking the wagon, you get the sense it's got some nicks and a little piece here and there of wood that sort of bows out a little further than it should. A crack in it. It's probably about, if you were to put it into a numbered state, probably at 2/3 of its max. So it's looking alright, but yeah, it's doing okay for now.
I have the perfect solution there if we want to stay for a little bit.
Well, sure. What are you thinking?
Part of a great warrior's growth is holding the flashlight during repairs on vehicles. So if I could have Opie look over my shoulder with some glow bugs, that way I can repair this in the dark. And make sure you shine it correctly. No being over here where there's shadows. You need to be right over here.
Okay, Mr. Forte. Do you need... Opie's gonna like stand there with like tools. Hand you your tools.
Not that one, the other one. How do you not know what the tool is?
What?
It's the plus sign, not the flat.
So why is it called a Phillips head? It doesn't make any sense. Who's Philip? Who's Philip?
You don't know Philip? Watch what Tyne is doing. Watch his movements.
We're using that elven metric system over here.
Yeah.
Tyna's like speaking to the cart like it's still living wood. Oh yes, you feel better. He's also smoking, so you don't know if he's actually doing anything.
All right.
I cast mending.
Be a 4 for mending.
Okay. Yeah, both of you do a little mending. Was that 2 from you, Forte?
We each have it, so
Okay.
it's a D4 for each one of us.
So if you're both rolling 2d4, then do you want to do this for 1 hour or 2 hours? Because both of you are rolling 2d4.
I rolled for both of us early. Or you want to do it twice?
Oh, okay.
Do it for 2 hours since we got time to kill.
Okay, so mark off the harmonic flux, but that in total now is 11 points. After spending a few hours just doing a little bit of repair work, both of you stand back. You grab a cloth from Opie on his head and kind of rub off your hands. And stepping back, the two of you stare at the cart. It is looking back in tip-top shape now.
Perfect. Thank you both. Opie, wonderful job with the lights. You've earned one of these. You may have the flask.
Opie's gonna take way too long of a swig.
Just like keeps drinking and drinking.
Yeah.
Fills out his sides of his mouth.
Isn't that good burn, mister?
It's dwarven ale. It's just like drinking bread. It's not really any. It's food.
Well then, I guess nothing left but to do it. Nothing left to it but to do it. I forgot the phrase in the middle.
I was gonna say, wait, what's going on here?
It's been a long day.
I take it back. Maybe you were a partier back in the day. Hey, Professor.
Ah, yes, in the day. And definitely not now.
Shreds, you say?
Tyne passes this pipe over to Professor Bark.
Be cool, man. Be cool.
The professor is very fun. I would go to a party with him.
Yes.
Right,
another
Professor?
party.
All right, so we're going and looking for the statue.
Yeah.
All right, in that case, Opie's got +1 mana. Ping me.
Yep.
Angus, let's, that one's good. I
Okay,
like that
shifting there. 2 hours pass.
Survival check.
Checking. Yeah, survival check to get there. Thank you, because it is nighttime.
That's 27.
27. Oh yeah, you're fine. Yeah, I don't know that. Man, I don't know that you'll ever roll under that. So good stuff.
I mean, we literally just saw double ones out of that guy.
Well, I mean, at least compared to all the rolls he's done for these checks, he's always rolled really high.
Only
Even
for
then, a natty 1 and a 14, that's still not bad. I'm just checking real quick. Okay, nothing happens here. Ping me.
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe we keep. Is there a way we can keep track of how many spaces we move, like for when we change maps and they don't remember later?
Yeah.
Is it a token? Can you give it like a health bar or something?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see.
Probably does have a health bar on his end, so you can tell us when it blows up.
Well, I'm just trying to see.
fair.
Hang on. Let me see if there's like a wheel. This is probably like an ice thing, but we'll just do this as a wheel. So here's your.
There you go.
Put it at 3.
Hey,
Ping me.
nice.
Ice, because that means we freeze.
What was this thing? I can't see.
That's the codices.
Codices.
Where you got
It's
your
a library
books and
rat.
stuff. Yep.
Oh, the book with all the naughty books. Yeah, okay. I guess. Or actually, yeah, that works.
Moving here. Okay, that's another mark of the harmonic flux. Puts you at 6. Blight time. Slim, let's get another check for Uncle Jimmy.
That's a 24.
Okay, yep. You're good here. Ping me.
Let's do that from there to there.
Okay, move this down to 2. And shifting here. Puts you at 8 blight time.
30.
Oh yeah, you're.
I just closed my eyes. Let the force take me.
Let me see here. As you are moving down your path, in the darkness, you see a torchlight in the distance, traveling along one of the, at least not fully bogged down paths. That's the driest portion of the area here in the Grey Doldrums. Appears to be what looks like some form of scholarly figure traveling down, who seems to bear a somewhat larger backpack on their back. As they approach, they look to say, "Hail! Might I ask for a bit of a query of information, if you had the time, travelers?"
Information is always readily exchanged while I'm here.
Insight check.
Sure.
That's 18.
Sounds like a scholar asking for some querying for information from the group.
Pull up an extra cup of water and hand it to him.
Oh, thank you, he says, taking a sip. I am a studier of the rare flora that appears throughout this region. I was curious if any of you had any ideas as to perhaps any areas within the Grey Doldrums, or at the very least a direction you could point me to, where there may be some interesting plans for me to study. The Grey Doldrums, one of the newer areas that I'm just beginning to poke my head in.
Oh, well, let me tell you. Bark, I'm sure, could tell him a lot of really interesting things in character.
Give me either whoever is proficient in either nature, survival, or medicine can make a check, if you'd like.
I'll assist
Are you
with one
proficient in
too.
either one?
What?
I can help with the medicine check.
Yeah, I'm proficient in medicine and nature.
I got nature and survival. I'll give one of you guys advantage if you want.
I think Jimmy's survival is the killer app here.
Yeah, I'm +7
Yeah.
on both.
What did this guy ask about plants?
Yeah, he wants
Yeah.
to be pointed in a direction to check out some interesting plants.
In the
I have a
Great
+9 on medicine.
I think Tyne would know everything about plants.
Yeah, he
Here's
would.
the green ones, bro.
Yeah, I think Tyne's got this one.
What, Mister? What plants are you looking for specifically?
I'm looking to discover some interesting ones. I don't exactly know. I'm hoping to find some never discovered before. I wouldn't even know the names of them. I'm just hoping to get a little bit of a direction from you all, since I would imagine you've seen this area more than perhaps I have.
I'll assist Tyne, and Lincoln will assist Jimmy. Survival and nature,
Okay.
respectively.
Yeah. That's fair.
Boy, we got some stories to tell you.
Oh
Boy,
man,
howdy do we.
ouch.
I never on the skills that I actually want to go on. Ever will go. Ever.
Uncle Jimmy, with that 24, you are able to... Well, Opie, was that with advantage, or was that the 9?
No, that's 9.
Okay. So yeah, Uncle Jimmy. Taking a second, it's obviously difficult to see right now in the dark, but just thinking back, unfurling the map and taking a second with torchlight nearby to kind of study it, thinking about some of the areas you previously visited, you get the assumption that perhaps there may be some more interesting flora that exists permeating around the area of King Croaker's Bayou. So taking a second, you turn to the scholar and point towards the southwestern region from the head that way. He pulls out a map and along with you kind of marks the area with your help, and then curls it back up and slides it into a tube and says, "Thank you, adventurers. I really do appreciate that. It's not often that I get to see friendly faces here on the trail. Here," he says as he reaches into his bag, and anybody make me a 1d3 roll, please.
93.
One of you guys that did the good roll.
That's you,
Not
Opie.
me.
Opie, you go for it. That's your people.
How do I do this? /R. What?
/R space
Tabber.
1d3.
1, 2, 3. 2.
Reaching into his larger backpack on his back, he pulls out, in between two fingers, 2 flasks of potions of greater healing and hands them to you.
Nice.
Whoa!
Well, that's very generous, sir. Thank you.
Of course, I brew some of these myself using some of the local plants. I appreciate the help. I'm going to go investigate the area now, he says. I bid you farewell and good luck out there.
If you run into any of those frog type people, just tell them you met up with us. They won't eat you. I don't induct you. I don't know what they do.
Very well. May I ask then for the name of your association or group?
We are the well-wishers, but they will know O.P. Stickyfoot,
right.
warrior of their army.
If you tell them my name, they probably won't enslave you and make you do their bidding.
Grung, he says, nodding, and begins to jot down a couple notes on his parchment. Opie's sticky foot from the well-wishers. I will do my best to heed those warnings, travelers. Thank you very much, and good luck to you all, he says with a wave as his mule begins to turn. You hear kind of some pots and pans bang and clank against the saddle packs as he begins moving that way.
That's real good, kid. Your people are gonna eat good tonight.
Does anybody want these potions? Opie doesn't really. I mean, I already have a healing potion, and Opie doesn't get damaged as much as y'all do. So.
Yeah. That is a
Wow.
good point.
I have a potion of regular healing.
Yeah, I get a
I was
regular
gonna
healing
say,
potion.
Maybe you
Oh.
should take the greater.
exchange Lincoln and Forte's potions for the greater potion.
Sure. It would trade a little bit.
All right. Potion of healing.
delete this one and add the other one.
Do we have a Luke inventory list going? Did you send that to Jimmy?
Yes, I will add that on my document I got right here. Put it at
Potion
the
of
top.
greater healing minus potion of healing.
All right. That is the event that happens here. You may continue moving if you like. Ping me.
That way. I'm not pinging. That way.
I have to remember when I do these games for the start playing stuff that they're not going to be able to just easily move around. It's literally because of Opie here that you guys are able to move without being trapped in the sludge.
It could be nice and highly recommend somebody plays a ranger. They all play rangers.
Well, yeah, I will vaguely suggest, but not give specifics. It is a survival campaign, is what I will tell them. So take that for what you will. Okay, that
All
moves
wizards.
you. Choose all wizards with low constitutions for your Oregon Trail adventure.
Exactly.
It is 10 blight time. That's another mark off the harmonic flux. Also, because you helped that guy, you may add an additional 5.
Oh my god.
Ooh. It's a 16 survival check for our last movement.
16, you're still good. Nothing happens here. You have one more space of movement that you can go before you run out of movement for the time. For the rest of the day, I should say. So, ping me.
Pegasus. Pegasus. That one. Jesus.
Okie dokie. And with that, as you come here, the light begins to rise. Light time is over. Just
Question,
in time for you all to sleep.
Not that I doubt that it isn't, but I checked the stone. It's getting colder, yes.
The stone is getting colder, correct.
Alright, just wanted to make sure.
The statue, yes. So
I
let's
guess.
see.
Mhm.
If you all want, from here you'll want to pitch up tents, and you'll need to wait 14 hours before moving again.
Okay.
Let's squeeze another space out of it since we're just going to be traveling at night again, anyways.
Okay.
It's going to be
Then
an easier check because it's going to be during the day.
ping me.
Imagine. Keep us same bearing.
Yeah, no need to check with a survival check, Uncle Jimmy, because it is light time currently. However, I will require a Constitution saving throw from everybody.
Oh, that's right.
I'm gonna use my good boy card just to be safe because I don't want to screw myself for the day. Advantage on saving throw.
Oh boy. Speaking of screwed.
Oh. Hey.
It's a good thing I did. That's a 13.
Uncle Jimmy, you are fine. Opie, you are fine. Tyne, you're good. Forte, you're good. Professor Bark, you push the group along. So you're
Lincoln's
closer, but you're a little more tired because of it. You have exhaustion.
Lincoln does.
Or Lincoln, yeah, okay. Oh, I see now. Yeah, Lincoln does, okay.
Poor sad. Okay.
My old bones ache.
It's alright.
The Roderick Cube.
Just out of interest, we didn't get any location pings out of any of that, right?
You got a ping several miles earlier when you were next to the codices. Since then, nothing.
Sweet. Right. Well, I don't know about you, but I feel like pitching a tent right now. Anybody
Again with
else?
those parties,
Right.
man.
What? Nobody's allowed in my tent. This is a tent pitched for one.
You mean Lincoln's tent?
This is a private tent pitching.
All right, you guys resting?
I think so. Nobody else has a better idea, it sounds like.
All right.
We pitch tents every night. Why is everybody laughing?
It's a very true, Opie. It's sometimes when you travel very long and hard, everything becomes a little bit funny.
Sometimes you just wake up and there's a tent that's been pitched. Let me see here. 12 hours pass. That's going to be 4 marks off the harmonic flux, if you don't mind, Amanda. And a constitution save from everybody.
Another one.
I've always asked for these.
You've literally never asked for these.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
That's a natty one.
Oh, man.
Man, natty ones today in the roll 20. Lincoln, you wake up refreshed. I was gonna say having eaten plenty of food and gotten plenty of rest, but you are a construct. Taking a little bit of time and perhaps grabbing a couple of those extra bones that you may have lost on the trail that you were able to get from Uncle Jimmy pilfering the corpse of the Jabberwocks and sticking them on. You are back and good. No exhaustion for you, but Uncle Jimmy, some of the boggy mire slipped into your tent in the night and you woke up with half of your face plunged in it. Very gross and kind of nasty. You wake up exhausted, not getting good sleep the night previously.
A soggy tent.
That's just Florida. Yeah, I woke up with a soggy pitch tent.
We've all had nights like that.
The statue is still growing colder.
I have a level of exhaustion, you said?
Correct.
All right.
Joker says, guess you had some wet dreams. Yes, Joker. That is what we're alluding to. Yes. All right. Yeah, let me refill here, and then if you're ready to go, ping me.
Well then, let's see. I guess return trip is no matter, so let's go here.
You shift here. Nothing happens. 2 hours pass. Give me a check, Uncle Jimmy, if you wouldn't mind. That is now at disadvantage, though.
But I have advantage because I use the cart, so it's a flat roll.
Correct. Yeah, it is a flat roll.
And there we are, back to it.
Ooh.
It's a natty 20 with a 31.
Holy shit, it's a crit.
Holy shit. Did you get a good boy card?
I used it already.
Well, there you go. You get another one. It's Feast or Famine in tonight's Roll 20 rolls. All right. Nothing happens here. Ping me.
Like this trek until we get a ping on the radar. How's that?
That sounds fair to me.
It's pretty good. It covers good radius.
You shift here. And let me see. As you're pushing your way through the area here, you all notice through the light of the torches attached to the wagon that you begin to pass by a patch of what look like interesting looking mushrooms that are not ones that seem common to this area. They're large, blue, and tall stalked mushrooms. You can make a check to see what they might do and if they would be any use for any of you. Or you could just eat one if you're feeling lively.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Is a mushroom a plant?
Yes.
No.
For my game, I'll say yes.
That's a tricky question.
I know probably super technically no, but for our game, yes.
I guess it depends on what you define as a fish.
Opie's gonna cast Speak with Plants.
Before OP rushes in, Professor Bark remembers that there was a lot of to do about some mushrooms that we passed before. They tried to like mind control us or something like that.
Yeah,
Really
some wild.
I'm gonna make a nature check to make just so that they're not that. Are they not that?
I'll assist you.
Okay, excellent.
Testing.
Wait.
Hello.
15.
They had these type of dots on them.
Doing a 15 check. What was the check?
Just to make sure that it wasn't those mushrooms that almost killed us the last
No,
time.
these look different.
Okay. Good luck, Opie.
Hello, Mr. Mushroom.
Hello.
Can you tell me what kind of mushroom you are?
I'm a blue mushroom.
That's fair. Do you know, like, what you do? Are you poisonous? Are you gonna hurt us?
Some people have picked some of my brothers. If they hang around here, I've seen some of them bring my brothers back out of their mouths.
Oh. I see. Okay.
They return them through
Okay.
their mouths.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, you have a good day, Mr. Mushroom.
Okay. Goodbye.
Worth it.
Well, Opie, what did you learn?
I think these mushrooms make you throw up if you eat them.
Excellent.
So we shouldn't eat them. I don't know if they have any other uses though.
Maybe. Let's see. Lincoln suddenly
Puts on some
also has no
glasses and cracks open a book.
idea. Yeah,
See
that's what I was
here.
thinking. Like suddenly he's just like, these are fortuitous mushroom.
According to my research.
But he only rolled a 10, so probably nothing.
Yeah, you get the sense that a person without any form of decent constitution could be poisoned by the look of these mushrooms, Lincoln, but not sure if there's any benefits from them. Could just make people sick.
A dubious thing to pick and eat mushrooms you know not the effects of. I say we carry on and keep our distance from them.
Also, you hear the soft hum coming from inside your wagon. There is a ping. A site of interest is adjacent to you.
Oh.
So it would be
Or there. Any of those three.
I got a chance. I'd say swing right and then scoop left.
I'm good with that, yeah.
Yep.
This one's got a face on it.
And then we can reorient it.
All right, shifting here.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna put you down to 2. You travel here. It puts you at 6 blight time. Go ahead and mark another off the harmonic flux. Nothing happens here. The pinging stops, and the statue in your hand as you grip it, Uncle Jimmy, grows just ever so slightly warmer.
So it's probably that spot.
We've gone in the wrong way. let's test that by moving that way.
All right, you shift here. It's gonna put down to 1. Whoops, wrong thing. It's because of this stupid fucking pop-up that's still stuck on my screen is why. God, I hate it so much. Roll 20, why?
Java, baby. It's always
that
work.
puts you at 8 blight time. The pinging resumes, and the statue grows colder. You have 1 more traversal left. Shifting here.
There until dawn. Yeah.
Okay. Heading here. Oh my god, it is literally right in my way. I can't believe it. Okay. Shifting here. Sorry, I just get triggered by that.
No, fair enough.
Moving here, that's going to mean that you all traveling through. Uncle Jimmy, make me 3 checks, please. 3 survival checks, if you don't mind. All straight rolls. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Okay, you make it to the laughing statue. The figure of what looks like some sort of fae. Their wings outstretched. They seem to be some form of creature from the Unseelie court. Their wings, a mixture of the elegance of a butterfly's wings, but also have a bat-like nature to them. It smiles with a toothy grin from side to side on its face. Even though it is smiling, there's still something unnerving about it. Extending out of one of its hands, or one of its hands is extended out, opened, with the palm facing up as if asking to receive some form of item.
Lincoln produces the statue.
All right.
Here you go.
You put the statue on the palm of the larger laughing statue. It grips it. You almost think for a second that the large grin grows even wider. You have sated the statue of this region. And, as a matter of fact, let's get rid of this.
What?
You have now discovered 100% of the sites of interest in the Grey Doldrums.
All right.
Wow.
First 100% clear,
Achievement
right?
unlocked.
Achievement get! Alright. That is 1 less statue that you have to hunt down.
Alright. Well then. What do we want to do now? Everybody?
I think we maybe take a quick rest, try and find this other statue. Maybe go into Jaws of Oblivion, see if we can get a ping on the next big baddie.
The big bat's right there, I think.
That's true.
Maybe we can see the boss monster, if that's something we're supposed to see.
Or we can, well, we can kind of do it at the same time, but we can do these Valse checklist things for Valse.
Could. We just got to be super careful about running into Blightstones. So we want to
Yeah.
stay away
And
from
Blight
pings.
Stones, yeah.
We need to travel during the day, I think, to reset all
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, is there any other outstanding business we have? Any other places that we need to travel, want to travel? With all these vaults and these Fae statues and the big bad monster man to monster mash.
I don't think there's anything else.
No, I think we're good in this area. We just
Well, then,
teleport out and start fresh.
sounds a good idea.
All right. Having largely. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I do have one
Yeah.
thought. Because the Helper's Hand Guild in what was it called? The Jaws of Oblivion. That one was kind of like understaffed isn't the word that I'm looking for. Undersupplied. Like there's not a lot of stuff there. Is that right, or am I remembering?
That's the
I
Flesh
think
Plains
you
one.
may have been thinking the Flesh Plains one. The Flesh Plains one,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
is like practically abandoned.
All right, then, yeah, let's go to the Helper's Hand. We can supply and rest our weary bones.
All right.
I don't know about you guys, but after pitching those tents, my bones are quite weary.
Yeah, my tent's a little soggy still. You gotta dry it out.
Deciding to all step over and putting a hand on the wagon and using one of the gifts from the muses to send your cart wherever you please to any of the Helper's Hands guilds throughout the region. Which one are you traveling to?
The Jaws of Oblivion.
All right. With a flash of light, you find yourselves at the Helper's Hand Guild, away from the swampiness of the area behind you, and now into the Jaws of Oblivion itself. It is still blight time, and you still need some rest. What would you like to do? You can resupply since you're here. You could try out your new Offal mount if you wanted to. Plenty of options, plenty of things you can get into here.
What mount?
Your Offal Walker, the undead thing.
Yeah, the two-headed undead horse thing we got from the Lich.
Yeah, Cinder gave it to us.
Let me put it on the list.
Maybe we review our upgrades. What is it that Volse wants us to do again?
He said that he is very busy and doesn't have all the time in the world to gather supply checklists from all of the various scavenger sites throughout the Jaws of Oblivion, and would like for you all to grab those for him because he is very busy working on other things himself, but in return will handsomely reward you.
Well, that sounds like we need to clear some cart space. Maybe we need to get a rental unit and put some things in storage for a while. What's our cart capacity look like?
We're at 1,123 of 1,200.
Yeah.
It's not a helpful thing. I don't understand. Do we have a lot left?
We're close to max.
Close to max.
We're close
Okay.
to the max.
What are these large bones that are weigh
Bones
50
from the
pounds?
Cantankerous Quarry.
They were bones given to you as a gift by Volse.
Oh, that's right. We were
Mine
gonna sell
from the
them.
Cantankerous Quarry.
Can we try to find a buyer here or something?
You could certainly try, yeah. You don't know what the bones are from. No one did any checks on them, but you could try and sell them and see what you could get for them.
Bones for sale.
Bones?
Get your bones.
Let's try and identify these bones.
Not Lankin, by the way.
Yeah.
He's not for sale. It's these bones, not these bones.
Not these ones.
Bones.
Professor... Oh, no, is that Professor Bark
Yeah.
check? Okay. Professor Bark, you attempt to study these larger-than-life bones. They appear to have belonged to a creature that doesn't appear to be completely natural. The way that their morphology is, it doesn't remind you of anything you've seen here in the passage, as a matter of fact. The best that you could place it is that perhaps these maybe once belonged to an aberrant creature, but beyond that, you do not know what these belong to. At least with that check.
Well, this is curious. Where would he come across this? These bones are extraplanetary. They do not come from this place.
Yeah, we gotta be.
Unless I miss my guess, they come from a different plane of reality altogether. What mixed up dealings is this man getting into, this Vals?
You think maybe as he travels underground in the mines, there's some sort of maybe a portal. Maybe there's bad things buried underneath the surface.
Maybe something the Helper's Hand Guild knows something about. We could ask.
I wish Lincoln was here for some unseelie table talk. The two sides to a coin, Fae, unseelie. Maybe all the baddies we're seeing are unseelie.
These I can answer that in Lincoln's voice. No, these are not Fae.
Yeah, they're
They don't
aberrant
come
in
from
nature.
our realm.
Or aberrant, I think. Correct way to pronounce.
Yeah,
Like aberrations.
yeah. I would never call something that does exist unnatural, but this is as close to that definition as you can get. Well then, I guess me and Lincoln will go bone. I got no pun for it. We're gonna go and talk to the Helper's Hand Guild to see if we can bone up on our bone. That wasn't great either.
Okay, what are you guys doing with the bones?
We're gonna go and inquire about the mole people underground, see if that's a thing. Is there aberrants underground? Why would this be on? See if the Helper's Hand would know anything about that.
A few Helper's Hand's attendants look and say, mole people?
Mole people? I mean, that's just a generalized expression for some subterranean dwelling. Some subterranean civilization. It sounds a little crazy. That's why we call it the mole people, to take a little bit of the piss.
So you're asking if there may be some hidden species of creature lying within the mountains?
It could be ancient. These are bones. They do not tell us that much.
Suppose that is the case. Would you like to leave the bones with us? We could do some research into them. You could donate them to the faction if you'd like to. We could study them, perhaps see what we could learn about the history of one of the creatures that either used to exist here within the Jaws of Oblivia or may still somehow now.
Bark would immediately say anything that we can contribute to the progression of knowledge in this world. But I'm going to offer anybody to speak through Lincoln to stop that from happening if they have another plan.
Could I take a quick nature or survival or something sort of check to analyze them to see if I know what kind of creature it was?
Yeah, of course. Knowledge checks are free.
What would you prefer?
Nature works, history works. Those would be the best ones. I'd accept medicine.
25.
Uncle Jimmy, as Professor Bark is beginning to become gleeful at the idea of being able to donate these so that they can better advance the proliferation of knowledge of the species around here in the region, you begin to sense something else studying these bones. Something that begins to click in your mind. these are likely not creatures that were natural to this region. In fact, these aberrant bones belong to a very rare creature created by unnatural ways. These bones belong to a witchlight marauder.
I knew it. I'm gonna try to interrupt for a moment. I do think we should maybe donate these, but you think we could take a rest? I'd like to look over them for the evening a little bit more before we dump them off. I got some. I look over to Bark and kind of shrug. Some research I'd like some help with.
You want to get to know the bone better? Well, we can introduce you to the bone. Let's take it with us then. Sorry to waste your time. I appreciate your forthcoming with your knowledge that you know. Sorry to bother you about the mole people. We will be leaving now.
It's no problem. If you need help in identifying any other items, then these Serenitos would be happy to help. They yell as you are dragging the bones out of the room.
No moles barred.
Well then, Jim?
Would it be, if we have anything else to do, mill around, and I guess, I'm gonna head back towards the inn for the night if we were gonna stay.
You guys want, yeah. It'd be 5 gold apiece, but you'd have a soft, comfortable bed that you would not need to make any concentration or constitution checks in the morning for. Get a full night's rest.
Can Forte check the quest board before heading to the inn?
Sure, yeah. There are still mostly a bunch of same notes that were there before. So any notes that anybody may have taken down initially when you came here are still there. I think something about watching out for the Blightstones. There is a note about we don't go to Pebblestone anymore. And then there is a new note that you didn't notice before that mentions that a particular figure of some renown, a gnome by the name of Fleechler, has been captured and taken prisoner by the scavengers, and the Serenitos are offering a reward of 250 gold apiece for his basically breaking him out from these scavengers and bringing him back.
The scavengers are Valsa's crew, right?
Correct.
Yeah, he told us that he was going to keep him and have him make explosives, right, for their excavation missions.
He suggested that perhaps he was going to do that, yes.
What if we offer information about Valsa's location in exchange for maybe information about big scary thing that lives here?
Which big scary thing? The boss monster?
Yeah, the one that lights up on our map that we're supposed to be very afraid of.
I think we could probably just ask for it.
And we'd do your way. But first, we should probably rest.
I just guess I mean to say, let's not involve ourselves with the capture of some gnome that maybe... let's just not tie ourselves to that is all I mean.
Okay, so what are you all doing?
I'm gonna look around the inn and maybe just take a quick stroll before we head in for the evening and see if I can find any of my contacts, the ones that found me before.
Make a perception check, please.
I'll add a +1, make it up even 30.
Yes, in fact, there is a gnome and what appears to be a genius who are beginning to wrap things up, grabbing some paperwork from one of the tents in the back where some of the other merchants and stuff are. As they're gathering some things, they appear to likely be from the maester.
I approach them covertly if possible, try to sneak over.
You sneak over. You see as the genius female is kind of picking up a stack of paper, she turns as you are basically standing right in front of her, but she doesn't jump or anything. She just looks you up and down and says, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, I try Thieves' Cant first. If that doesn't work, I just kind of mutter under my breath, I got some information for the genius.
She looks to the left and then to the right and looks back at you and says, "You can speak at a normal voice rate, it's fine. What information do you have for us?"
Well, first of all, I got a trunk full of goodies. You guys, I was sent out here to go get some information on, a bunch of these creepy monster types out here. A little compensation through my boss and my, union representative. So I got a couple things to unload if you got a time or a capacity at the moment. Second of all, I got, me and my friends procured some rather large bones of a witchlight type.
Her eyebrow raises as you says this, and she says, "One moment, please." She turns to the gnome and tells him to grab the rest of the books and head back inside. He sets the paperwork down for a second and begins to rifle through a couple, or pulling one of the papers out. She says, "Jimmy, was it?"
Yes, ma'am.
Extractor 36. Yes. You brought the Witchlight Marauder remains? You said they come in the form of bones.
Yes, ma'am. They're about 2 days north of here. There was about 2 days, a day and a half south of us from here. There was a site that we ran into some, I described the Hucambras, the lizards.
Mm-hmm.
We went out there, did some work, came back, and Vols and his scavenger crew, they were happy to unload a few for us for all the work we did clearing it out. So, we got some pretty hefty bones out there in the cart. And like I said, I got some extra stuff if you're looking. Some pretty interesting, what do you call them, specimens? Little monster bits if you want them.
Very well. If you wouldn't mind procuring the bones for us, I'll also sample some of the other items and can offer you your pay in the morning after assessing what you brought.
Of course. It's alright with you. He kind of whispers a little bit, at least for this part. The Sorrento's kind of got a little bit of a glance, and I think they wanted to do a little bit of research. You think it's good to maybe leave a little for them, or are you guys taking the whole load?
No, we'll be taking the whole load.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Let me go check with my group first and see with them. What kind of compensation we talking? That might make things a little bit easier for them to swallow.
As per sub of your contract, you were promised 1,500 gold pieces.
Sounds good to me. What about the extra bits?
Those I will need to assess, and as I said, get with you in the morning.
Yeah. It's kind of like a briefcase, like a mini trunk that he just kind of carries with him, and he just drops it for her. I'd like to get my case back, but if you want to take this for the night while we're resting, and he just gives her a list of all the random pieces from the 8 monsters we've killed. Oh, and there's one special one in there. It's a chromatic dragon. There's a couple of crazy fae folk killing things and stitching them together. That was a whole thing. I don't even know how to go into that, but it was like a chromatic dragon. It was like a couple dragons stitched together to make this monstrous behemoth-looking thing that was spitting fire ass. I can't even remember. It was whooping our ass.
Yes, sounds like an antiquated way to formulate a new breed of creature. The Fae would be up to those things. Yes, I will assess these items and get with you in the morning. You may meet me here back at this place. I shall return with the briefcase intact, and we shall talk about the remaining amount that should be per what should amount to more gold or perhaps an extra item or two, provided my assessment passes. Give me the evening, and let's meet in the morning.
Yeah. I'll be back within. I table talk like an hour to go back, talk to them. If everything's good, I'd bring them back to her, or at least give her a place to pick them up.
Sure, she says.
I just kind of nod to her and then slink on back to the group.
He watches you the entire time as you walk back inside.
None of us saw Uncle Jimmy go do that, right?
I would assume not, if Uncle Jimmy was trying to probably be a little discreet about it.
I mean, I would make like a perception check, but I don't think Opie would have been like watching for it, so nah.
All right then. As you are all probably beginning to get settled into your rooms for the night, finally a place to actually sleep that's outside of the nastiness of the outside, although some of you may prefer it, like Opie. You all begin to get into your uncomfortable fluffy beds and begin to settle down for the night when Uncle Jimmy returns.
I don't think anyone prefers the killer darkness.
On the way back, I'd try to grab some sort of, maybe like a small bottle of wine or some drinks just to bring to everybody. I got some good news for you guys.
Oh, yes, please.
One of my union rep had a rep of his rep out in this vicinity, and apparently he's interested in those bones. They're looking to give us some good money. I happen to pony up a couple extra chunks of the stuff we've been killing, so they might have a little extra, looking about like 1,500. Even split, as fair as fair. You guys, we killed just as much together,
1,500 gold.
Oh, hot dog. What kind of union buys dead monster parts, by the way?
That was through my boss. He's the one who got me this job. It's a group we refer to as the Deaths, the Department of Exotic Animal Treatment and Holistic Services. They like to do research on the stuff that we killed and invasive species and big baddies, and they use it, I guess, to maybe how to kill them, how to cohabitate. I don't know, maybe they eat them. I don't know.
And you're part of this group, or you just do work for them?
No, I'm stationed back on the Ogokyo. My boss got this. It was kind of a contract. He's like, hey, we send the guy to you guys. Hey, you go out there, you get good money, get some experience. And I was like, okay, boss. And that's about it. That's what he told me they're called. I don't know if there's a bunch of eggheads back on the Ogokyo.
Yes. I buy that. Neo Gokyo is renowned for its research on all things.
Yeah, I didn't want to go unload them without checking with you guys first. That's all. If that's cool with you guys, I'll get with them real quick and then head off to bed.
Well, I suppose that fulfills what we were looking to do. Yeah, we'll get some cash for this bone.
Mighty kind of you, Jimmy.
No. You guys saved my ass a couple times too. So yeah, we call it a group effort, team effort.
So these bones, they're gone, right? Or not yet? They will be.
Yeah, I'll go take them all over there and unhaul them, or tell them where the cart's at. They're egghead types, ain't gonna poke around too much, so they can take them.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and delete it from our cart then.
Howdy. Well, what else we got loading down the cart?
Nothing really. I mean,
How much gold does the party have?
we have 240 party gold in the cart.
For 400 gold, we can increase. If we bought an extra axle, we can hold more, but that's 400 gold.
I think it's a spare axle, isn't it? You wouldn't
No, it's an
expand
extra
it.
axle.
Making it a 6-wheeler instead of a 4-wheeler.
I mean, if we get this
Extra
money,
axle.
we could do 100 for each of us, and then 900 into the fund, or 200 each, and 300 to the fund. Either way.
Yeah, what else would that get us other than the axles? What else could we get that would maybe be beneficial for this last area?
I think we have all the big ones. I mean, there's not much else. Resistance to fire damage.
Biggest one I think is the axle. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we get an extra axle, maybe we could toss on a extra wheel or something, a spare part, just in case something bad happens, if it's not too much.
Yeah.
Would let us do that.
I mean, I have 240 gold in my inventory too, so I'm sure all of us together have plenty of gold.
I got 285. I'd toss in 50 to 100 if it's
240.
Well, we just got 1,500, right? So let's subtract it from that first before we divide it out. Because that's what we're ultimately going to do, right? Split it and split it. So let's combine steps.
We might
How
get a
much is
little
the
extra.
axle?
I think you said 400 for the extra axle.
Yes, 400.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then we can split the 10 that's left, or yeah. How many of us are there? There's 6 of us?
There are.
So then we can each
were
take
7.
150, and then we can have 200 to the party.
There was that.
That'd be good. We might get I might get a little extra for the all the chunks and bits from all the things, so we can at least plan on that.
Okay, so everybody had 150 gold, and then 200 to the party gold. And that'll be the exchange for the bone and the axle.
Okay, wait. So we all get 150
Correct.
and then 200 party?
Right. So the way that breaks down is we put 200 in for the party gold. 900 was split amongst us, and then 400 was for the axle.
Okay.
What's the harmonic flux at, Amanda?
92.
Okay. Are you guys sleeping for the night? What's the plan?
I'm gonna take the next half hour, whatever, go meet back with her, unload the bones, or at least put them to where she can get them, and then head to bed.
Jimmy,
As you meet with her, she looks back and says, "I've finished my assessment. These extra items you procured will be helpful. Turns out, checking my supplies, I do not have any more things of monetary value, but I do have an item that may prove useful in your further travels. It is known as a dimensional net," she says as she shares the item.
All right, yeah. What's that do?
This
Awesome
was
looking.
woven from outer planar creatures. It shimmers with an iridescent nature. It can subdue and capture aberrations, celestial and fiends, though I imagine the first one will be the most important should you traverse into the final region. It can stop them from using any form of extra-dimensional travel, which may prove useful if necessary.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Hopefully, it comes in hand for you.
Yeah, thank you. A quick question for you. Before I know this is your big haul. This is what you were really asking me for, but we might kill a few more things. You happen to know any thing about the big bad creatures around this area?
Which one specifically?
I
There are many fauna in this region.
we
As
were
she's
told
saying
there's-
this, several masterminds are appearing out of the dark and beginning to collect the bones. They're all wearing gloves and moving the bones very fragilely.
I was going to say, before I was bringing them back, could I, maybe like just a small chunk, could I pocket like just a small piece of it?
Sure. Make some type of check to see if you can grab a small chunk without doing too much damage to the bone itself.
It's 29 sleight of hand.
Okay.
It's good work from home.
You're able to pocket about a palm-sized chunk of the bone in your hand, and you actually turn out of the corner of your eyes. You see several of the masterminds inspecting that area. They're kind of brushing it off with several brushes. You hear them whispering to themselves that as far as they know, this is likely just damage that has occurred due to the natural age of the bone because of your sleight of hand check being so high. They continue to slowly, very softly, kind of using cloth to wrap around. They very softly lift the bones up and begin to pull them into the dark.
Nice. I'm glad I could, pardon me, we could get this taken care of. You make sure you tell your boss and my representative that things are going smoothly.
Of course, your primary objective, Extractor 36, has been completed. You have performed very adequately. I'm sure that my employers will be happy to hear of your success. We will be looking forward to perhaps having more opportunities with you specifically in the future.
I extend my hand out to her. And your name was?
She says Feora and shakes your hand.
Yeah, Feora, gotcha. Yeah, a pleasure. If you, I guess, if you're gonna be here any longer, I'll send some more stuff your way.
Unfortunately, now that you have delivered the payload, we will be implementing the extraction process immediately.
Right. And, what is this thing? You at liberty to let me know? Just
Unfortunately,
curious.
I am not.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright then, just kind of tips his hat and nods and walks back and watches them as they start unloading and loading.
She shakes your hand and says, the information is confidential. However, you have performed quite well. You should take note of your capabilities. I look forward to perhaps contacting you myself in the future.
Yeah, if we make it out of here, these maesters got us on some crazy, you know what. But, yeah, I look forward to that.
Excellent. Well, we're going to begin the extraction process now. I bid you farewell. She nods and begins to turn. You notice that several of the masterminds are gathering up things from the tent. What was a setup where you've at least seen probably one contact occasionally throughout the different Helpers Hands guilds. They are now quickly beginning to wipe out what is there at the tent. There is nothing left where they used to have a stall there. As she nods, she picks up a torchlight and begins to head along with the gnome She pulls out from her coat what appears to be some form of maybe magical stone of some type as she puts it up to her mouth and begins speaking into it. Payload is with us. Extraction process beginning now. We have the Marauders.
Could I take a quick perception check as I'm leaving to see if I see any interesting marks or, insignias on them,
Sure.
like representing who they are?
Sure.
It's 27.
You see the insignia of the Masterminds in several places on them.
Gotcha.
As they begin to head off into the darkness, their torchlight giving way. Make one more perception check, Uncle Jimmy.
All right, I think I'm gonna use my good boy card on this.
Okay. Very nice, very nice.
It's 28.
In the distance, outside of what appear to be the walls of the Helper's Hand Guild here, you begin to see a ship lifting up off the ground. This ship looks like the shape of a boat that would sail the waters, but this one begins to pick up into the air. You can't see the full body of it, but just able to make out portions of the ship-like qualities of it from the occasional torchlight that lights the aforementioned deck of the ship. It begins to ascend higher and higher. You've heard of these things before. These are spelljammers, Uncle Jimmy. Perhaps you've even traveled on them yourself. You see, just through the barest glint of the lighting on the top deck, what appear to be the Masterminds as they are beginning to shift and transition the bones into several what look like crates made of pure metal. And the ship continues to lift up and ascend higher into the sky, into the darkness up above you where the stars lay. Or at least where they would if you could see them. Finally, the torchlight begins to slowly dim as the ship begins to shift and ascend so high up that it moves out of eyesight. Your main mission, Uncle Jimmy, has been completed. You have delivered what was asked of you. Amanda, please mark off 10 points from the harmonic floor.
Off 10?
Yes.
Oh.
Darkness
Good
returns
deal.
to our world.
Interesting.
He was a bad guy the whole time.
Jim just do this all. By us, I mean our main characters.
Just gonna roll up the net, stack up the coins, and start bringing them back to the group. I'm gonna just take notes, personal notes on, like in logbook or whatever I was keeping of who and what of what happened for Boss Man to look over so he can understand what's going on also.
Sure. All right. Is anybody doing anything during the evening, or are we skipping to daytime?
Good to skip if y'all are.
To go.
Yeah, I think so.
Okie dokie. What was that, Kev?
We should switch to the wheels on the wagon too, from the forest swamp wheels to the Rocky Mountain wheels.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what we have on, because OP beat the swamp, so we didn't have to do the swamp wheels.
Okay.
Everyone gets a good night's rest, and because of that, no longer requires the need to make a constitution check since you're sleeping here. You traveled 5 spaces I think, or was it 6 spaces? No, it was 5 spaces. Uncle Jimmy, you wake. Your exhaustion has been cleared. Let's also do the harmonic flux. So that should be 4. So it was 5 and 2, so that's 10. So 14 hours need to pass. So it's going to take you to 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 11, 12. You are right back at blight time as you wake. 3 points off the harmonic flux.
But this time we're just gonna wait because we're gonna travel during the day.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Deciding, hey, we're tired of traveling at night. You all decide to spend a little more time. Did you want to grab another bed here at the Helper's Hand Guild, or did you want to maybe just try and sleep outside?
Ooh. Is
Jimmy
there
will pay for a bed.
Walmart or something we can walk around a 24-hour wall?
I think this whole thing is a 24-hour Walmart.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we actually sleep in our sleeper van outside of the Walmart.
Little
What is
Winnebago.
private? It's public property. It's totally fine.
I think we're good to sleep in tents. Don't y'all?
Yeah. We got nothing to heal from.
Saving a little money,
Well, I mean,
sleeping in your
doesn't-
tents.
well,
Yeah, we're
Doesn't-
miserly. We just got a $1,500 payout.
I mean,
Doesn't Jim have exhaustion though? Wouldn't we want to sleep in a bed to make sure?
Oh.
He doesn't have it.
Not
He doesn't have it
exhaustion?
now, since you guys
Yeah,
got a full rest
Oh,
in.
okay.
But I need
just-
Constitution
oh, okay.
checks from everyone if you are.
yeah, we have enough, and we're at the area where we can sleep without the risk of exhaustion. If we start traveling with exhaustion, it's not a good idea.
Actually, you
Yeah,
know
that's
what?
good.
If I'm thinking about D&D rules with the whole 24 hours thing, you guys are good. You don't need to rest, so we can say you just wait out the 12 hours to get to morning time, because you guys just got out of a rest basically. So we'll say that yeah, this can carry on over. Many hours pass as you are taking a little bit of time. Enjoying some of safety of walls and civilization here in the passage that is rare, especially coming off of a pretty dire engagement with the nasty creatures, the Jabberwocks, from the swamp-like region of the passage. You all find yourselves looking out of your windows and watching as the Gleedle can begin to form a large swath through the sky, and twilight begins to form, covering the area in a soft light that is 3 more points out the harbor.
Alright.
Hark. The
Day
light
is
through
here,
Yonder window break. It is the direction from which the beetles come.
All right.
Alright. We're doing this boss checklist thing?
Were we doing that or trying to head to the statue first?
There was those things. There was save Fleechler. There's a couple different things. Whatever you wanted to do. You could try and take on the boss. What you guys wanted to do?
Yeah, we didn't really get any information about the boss.
Did we ask anyone?
Not yet, I don't think.
Jim asked.
I let the party know that I really didn't get anything out of them for boss information. Also, I show the net to them and I put it inside the cart. That's party loot if anybody wants to use it.
Excellent. What did we see on the map? Because that's where we see the pulse of the monster, right?
Oh, snap! Boss is moving.
Yeah, as you unfurl the map and take a look, the boss has shifted, moving north, further up.
Okay. So that gives us some sort of a direction to ask about questions. If anybody knows anything about
Any legendary creatures or things causing havoc?
Yeah, thing roaming around the wastes. Is it moving really slowly? Is this like the only square it's moved since we've been here for like 24 hours almost?
It's moved several hexes.
So Bark would have been paying attention. What kind of direction would it have taken? Just like a straight north-south direction?
Not exactly. The movement seems a little unnatural, a little random. But that's also because each hex is 6 miles, so there's probably many things to get into in each. So yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any, from what you can tell, without a check, it doesn't seem like there's any methodology to the movement of whatever it is.
So I guess what I guess I'm asking is, does it go to or away from settlements? And to and away from like normal like roads? Are there even roads on this?
Cannot tell.
Okay.
You're not able to discern that from what you've seen so far.
Well, we can ask, but it seems to be it's a wild sort of thing out there.
Before we head out, time in between, did we want to shop for anything else? If there's anything else we see that would be useful for any of us, or do we want to just trek on? Because I think
we just shopped last time. Does anybody have a special need that has arisen? Is there something you're thinking about, Jim?
Not me specifically. I just wanted to put it up to anybody else, see if anybody had anything. I mean, I think we all have a magic weapon and, you know, beneficial items.
Alright. Well, while we, does anybody want to go ask around the rumor mill about giant wandering monsters?
Where would we ask, even? There's not any other settlements, really, that we found.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained, old friend.
The only other thing that you all would know of, because your characters would know, is the scavenger sites, although Vols told you, other than gaining the checklist, to maybe not bother them too much, but he did mention that the Scavenger's Promontory, where Vols will be, is here.
Well then, I guess that we just keep, the needle keeps spinning on our compass here. So, I want to know how people feel about balls, because honestly, I couldn't give a shit about helping them.
Forte doesn't like the Draugr, so.
Opie doesn't want to do anything like against the balls, but he doesn't really care about helping them, I don't think.
Especially after we fought like the zombie versions or the runaway machines and their stuff.
They're literally taking prisoners. They're being reported missing. You guys, how do you guys feel about it?
I mean, I don't like the guy, but he's just a businessman, you know? As long as he stays out of our way, we're good.
Well, then I guess we can skip out on helping him. Doesn't seem like he has the support in the group by that.
I just don't think he would even reward us for being his errand boys. He would double cross us and take whatever he would need.
That's the feeling I get too.
He's got a lot of guys working for him. He can go figure out his own stuff.
Yeah. Well, I hate to be somebody who would say I told you so, but before we got attacked by the Jabberwocks, I did recommend that we stalk our prey, so that we understand our prey before we get in, you know, over our heads, as it were. I say we invest some time into figuring out what it is that's wandering the wastes out there.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, you, me, and Lincoln could go sneak up on it. We could be all sneaky-like.
Well, sure, but we can also still just ask around town. We haven't done that yet, so I'm gonna go do that.
Let's Bark and I will go check out the front desk and see if anybody knows anything.
That's a good idea.
We also, if we want to spend the money on it and try to like stalk it, there's also the camouflage for the cart.
Oh,
Good point.
That sounds good.
how much is that?
200, and it gives disadvantage on hostile creatures' passive perception to notice us.
Well, that's not nothing. So we got the extra axle because we were gonna haul stuff for Vols. Can we just reverse that and split the 200 difference between us? Is that alright to retroactively do that, Jason? Or if everybody's good with that.
Everybody's good with that, yeah.
Could.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we're going to have not bought the axle and buy the camouflage instead.
If it's an extra 200, we could just each take, what, 25 each and put 50 extra in the party fund?
I mean, you can have. I can.
What?
Tyne would pay the two. I don't want. He doesn't want the gold. I have 200 gold. He doesn't want it. So.
Well, I don't think we need the extra axle, so I appreciate everybody jumping on throwing their gold at it, but
No, that's
just
what I
add
mean.
200 to the party gold.
Oh, yeah,
and
to the
then-
party fund. Gotcha.
Call it all even. Yeah.
Yes, if that's your all decision, then that's fine.
If you guys want to figure out something else, you're welcome to it. But
Jimmy's gonna grab Tyne and go up to the, I guess, a general store or one of the shops to see if we can get any information on the local boss monster and maybe grab some cigars and pipeweed.
Okay, those of you who are trying to fish for information, I need an investigation check, please.
you should.
Hey, Tyne, what's your investigation, buddy?
I think we're all-
+1.
Oh, okay, I got.
He's not
+5.
perceptive. He doesn't notice things. Still try.
That's a fat 14.
All of you spread out a little bit across the area here at the Helper's Hand Guild, trying to suss out any information about a terrible foe that may be exhibiting dangers throughout the region. Since many of you are asking around, there's no one in particular who's giving this information, but all of you collectively are able to gain that no one really knows, no one has really heard of like a single large or dangerous creature threatening the region. Most of them are simply complaining about the fact that these scavengers have tried to essentially just come into this mountainous range of the Jaws and just try to claim it as their own. And that has been causing a lot of issues for them. But they all claim that they don't know of any like huge, terrible creature that could be something that exists here.
Well, I guess the easy answer would be easy. But this is hard work. It takes the hard work. I'm getting sleepy, and there was a good metaphor in there, I'm sure.
That's all them late night parties. Yeah.
It's the parties I'm invited to, yes. Is there... Fuck. Yeah, I guess we just sneak up on it and watch it. Let's
I
try and
guess.
do that.
Try, yeah.
It's coming right for us.
What do you think, Amanda?
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
You haven't said
Why
anything
me?
about what you want to do. What would you like
What's the
to
brave
do?
warrior want to do?
I don't know, y'all. I say we either go for the boss or we go to the flesh plains and start exploring there.
I
Are we also gonna look at the statue in this area?
We can go to the statue, yeah. The boss is like on the way, though. I say we just
On
go
the
take
way.
him out.
Could swing south and then east. Try and look for one more.
Our brave warrior says they want to take it out, so let's go take it out.
Could do
Well,
that.
Bark would vote against it for the fact that we need to learn something about it, and Lincoln votes against it because Lincoln's not here.
That's a good point. Missing one
Let's
person.
try to see if we can see it from afar. Maybe get an idea of what it is, or
We could do what we did last time. We could go up to it and just try to quickly bamf out after we get a glimpse of it, so we at least know what the heck it is.
It would work if it's not smart.
Yeah.
Because if it's super dumb and it tries to attack us, it'll be on the cart and we'll teleport it.
Or just super aggressive.
just don't know how else we're gonna find any information out about it, other than just trying to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one seems to know.
Past the Scuttle Shrine, maybe we'll find a bug on the way and finally get our bonus.
You know what they say to do, OP, when you can't make a decision? They say call it.
Sleep on it?
What's that?
Sleep on it?
Well, no, I was thinking more heads or tails, and then he flicks a coin in the air. Call heads or tails, one or two heads and tails, respectively.
Heads.
Whoop. I guess I didn't define which one was. We'll call it a monster head and runaway tails to the statue. So let's go after that monster. See if we can figure out what that fucking thing is. I like your style, Opie. Chase it down.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay. Gathering your supplies, gathering into the wagon, you begin to head out. Ping me!
I think our heading will be that one.
Alright, 2 hours pass. It is finally light time, so you don't have to deal with the insufferable darkness. That's a mark off the harmonic flux. This puts you at 4 travel time. Somebody roll me a d6, please. Do 4 there.
Somebody roll you a d6.
D6, anybody, please.
Oop, I missed it.
Thank you.
3.
Boss ship's here. Ping me.
Straight east.
All right, heading straight east. That's gonna put you down here. Ching, put you at 4 light time. Still, nothing happening here. Another d6, please. All right. Future heads here to the Cantankerous Quarry.
He's going to attack my boss.
Shift here. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Hang on.
Worked ahead.
Put this back.
Heart
He
falls
deleted
into
us.
It's all gone dark.
I can't see.
sink.
Block it
Falls
out,
into a
man.
sinkhole.
Ultimate deletion.
You're at 6 blight time. That's another mark off the harmonic flux. Another d6, please. All right, creature
5.
moves here. Ping me. Shifting here. Okay, it's gonna put you at 1 more space to travel.
I say that we hold here. Maybe we'll wait to see what it does, and then pursue it since we're running out of gas.
It's a good idea.
Are you?
So I think we should just like kind of set up like a deer blind, so if it walks by, it doesn't see us.
Okay. You have that super spiffy camouflage now, right?
Yeah.
We
We
do.
can move just before dark. So we'll plant here and make it move twice, I guess, or at least once.
Yeah, give me a, so is the plan to wait and see if the creature runs over your hex? Is that it?
Right. We're
Sure.
yeah.
Okay.
We don't want to both be moving into the same hex. We want it to move on to us is the plan.
Okay.
Don't we have to
Well,
be in the same hex to see it though?
Yeah. But we want it to be moving. We want to be planted in a blind so it doesn't see us.
Yeah.
I assume that's something that will need to be not moving to accomplish, Jason.
I mean, you could try to sneak up to it by moving into its hex. It's not out of the question. But you could also just say, hey, we want to set up and see if it'll come over ours since you're so close. That may mean it takes some time for that to happen. But if you all want to do that,
takes patience.
yeah, then that's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Well, those are my ideas. And I'm by no means the sole decision maker in the group.
We could do that. Like wait,
Go on
at
now.
least wait one round, and if it ends up going away from us, we could try and camp here and then hit up the statue before we go after it.
All right.
Because yeah, we have to stop soon anyway. So I mean,
All right. The
So we're gonna have
stalking
a
mission
nice-
begins. The stakeout. 1 hour passes. 2. It's a mark off the harmonic flux mana. 3, 4. 2 blight time. Another mark off the harmonic flux. At 4 blight time.
Yeah.
Uncle Jimmy, you studying the map. The boss is now in your hex. However, it is blight time. You cannot
Oh.
see 5 feet outside of your own wagon. In the
Every
distance, I need you all to please make me a perception check.
That's 14.
15.
Okay. Right time. Forte. Oh, Opie. Forte. Tyne and Professor Bark. Everyone else hears the sound of soft wind as it begins to howl through the valley here at night. But you three, Forte, Tyne, Bark, you hear the soft sounds of what sounds like a violin playing in the distance.
Oh, that's disturbing.
Well, that's interesting. I think.
Can I do like a history or nature or something? If there's anything I've ever heard of in the wild that makes this kind of noise?
Sure, if you want to, yeah. Yeah,
This sort
this
of thing is beyond me, Tyne. I'll help you make a nature check.
Nature? Okay.
What else did you say?
I don't know. Those were just suggestions like history, nature, maybe. Yeah.
either of those will work.
Survival? Okay. Do nature then if you can assist me on it. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Forte says this is a skeleton from Dark Frontier. I'm glad that's cool that you remember that.
Can I use 2 of my plus ones?
You can only use one at a time.
Fine. Make it a 13.
Okay, with a 13 Tyne, you are well and much more accustomed to wildlife than you are humans. So you have, you're privy to a fair amount of creatures out in the wild. This one is playing a tune or imitating a tune that would play on a violin that sounds like a human would have to produce it. This does not sound like an animal.
Okay.
Forte,
Are there any-
you pick up the same thing with that check. This is probably not an animal that you would conventionally be used to.
Would I recognize the song at all?
With a 19, as you listen, perking your ears up, it's interesting. It's a violin being played, and it's being played in such a way that it doesn't sound like a wild animal could play it. But the way that it's being played sounds like it's just a random assortment of musical notation. Now that you're beginning to listen in, it almost just sounds like completely random in nature. It's still played to such a capacity that no animal could do so.
This person really does not know how to play the violin.
This is curious. Well, besides being limited as they are, I think we should all take a nap and let our guard down and it'll be fine.
Could I take some sort of knowledge check on it?
Yeah, if you want. Knowledge checks are free.
I'll try nature.
You too?
That sure is some Darshgurn
Yeah,
music.
nothing more than what Time was able to suss out, unfortunately.
So creepy.
Ah, I just want to turn into a hawk, but it doesn't help when it's not nighttime out.
It's like nighttime.
Jimmy prepares to teleport just in case. And lets everyone know that. Just kind of like puts his hand on the orb or the unit to teleport, and then just kind of keeps his eyes open.
Jim puts a hand on his unit.
All right.
Locked and loaded.
Cocked, lock, and loaded.
Bada bing.
Let's move on.
Okay, yeah.
So what are you guys
Good night,
doing?
everybody.
Is the question.
I'm scared is what we're doing.
Generally surviving, dude. Just generally surviving.
Well, are you staying here for the night? What's happening?
I think
I think so.
we have to.
Yeah.
I think the best
I
thing
feel
is
like we
just
have-
stay put.
We're waiting till
Yeah,
Charlie
I feel
Daniel
like we
shows
have a
up.
less chance to get noticed if we're not moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I think maybe we
It's like
hang out
T-Rex.
here, and then if it starts to move during the, if we're still next to it around the daylight, we can chase after it.
Sure.
So, like I said, everyone, let's just go to bed and pretend like nothing scary is out there. We'll all have a nice rest. And everyone wakes up in the morning.
You all begin to go to sleep for the night. Are you doing like shifting watches or anything like that, or just everyone going to sleep? Fuck that monster.
Yeah. Or no. don't watch.
Lincoln, I would think Lincoln would do his normal stuff.
Yeah, Lincoln's always
all the
staying
stuff he normally
conscious.
does.
Okay.
Jimmy would stay up with Lincoln for at least the first 2 hours. So in case, and kind of like eyeing the map to see if this thing leaves the area.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, Lincoln has his light spun thing, so it's emitting some light, as well as the cart is emitting some light. Let's see if this
Just
is
enough for us.
emits light. Yeah, this is gonna emit 20 foot and 10 foot. There we go. Okay.
Why do you need the exact
Yeah.
measurement,
I mean,
Jason?
now that you're saying it, we can go and address it, but we were trying to be in the deer blind, which is things cannot see into us. Which I would include like the light sources and stuff too. We would have figured out.
If the enemy wasn't a blind deer, that would work. However,
So then you have light sources to keep you out of the darkness, but these light sources are kept sort of like in an enclosed space, so it's not like you have a open visible light source, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're on a stakeout. We're not trying to draw attention to ourselves.
Okay.
we're in a bush fort, essentially, is what Kyle's trying to explain.
That's what I was thinking. Like we found what we could and kind of camouflage the area or try to.
We're in the Grand Marquis with the lights off.
We're in a big open field with a bunch of branches pitched up around our.
A rare.
We turned our headlights down, and put our seats back real low. You know.
A rare spot of vegetation in the windy, rocking hills of the Jaws here, as you've all set up here.
There just happens to be some vegetation.
Yeah, you know, that's how it works.
There is some. It's just not a lot. But you've been able to post up at what there is here. You all have light sources, so you're not sitting in darkness taking any damage. But those light sources only extend inside of like your respective tents. And even then, you're probably keeping them hooded in some way to keep yourselves hidden. Sound of the violin begins to increase.
Oh.
Two Jabberwockies.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, two Jabberwockies don't kill us. We don't talk about TPK and Charlie Daniels murders us in our sleep. Sucks.
I think we should get ready to. It's coming for us. Are we asleep at this point? Or no?
This is
we were
stuff
probably,
that whomever would be awake like Lincoln would hear.
Okay, well, would Lincoln or Uncle Jimmy wake us up at this point?
If it gets close enough, I'd like if it's still after like the first like half hour, whatever, it's still on the map and it's getting louder, I'd start to wake them up quietly.
Make a perception check.
I'm just a bogey boy.
That's 19.
The violin sounds like it's being played from about 50
That
or
was
60
persuasion.
feet out.
Oh,
Or was it persuasion?
mine was
Lincoln's was.
perception.
Yeah. Uncle Jimmy, yeah. You're, the sound of the violin is about 50 or 60 feet out. But from what you can hear, it doesn't sound like it's getting any closer. Rather, it's just skimming by this location.
Wake me up. Wake me up.
He's gonna hold his hand crossbow and start waking everybody up.
Relax, Jim.
So did we think it doesn't see us then?
Yeah, it seems to be walking.
Probably. That
I
would
say
be a
we-
decent guess.
I say we sneak up on it and attack it. We might not
But
get
we
a
don't-
good chance like this.
We can't see it though. How do we sneak up on it?
Yeah, Lincoln points out this isn't a good chance, just the one that's in front of us.
The violin continues on. Sounds like it's growing just a little tiny bit further away. Like it is passing by your location nearby right at this moment.
Hold.
It grows further away now. About 70 feet. And then 80. And then if no one does anything else, sound begins to disappear into the distance.
Yeah. Do we know about what time that was? Is it like early in the night or late in the night?
About 4 blight time. That this happens.
Did we notice if this thing similarly only comes out at night, or did we see it during the day on the map?
It was there during the
I just
day.
thought that-
It is both, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I think early option is to wait till morning now.
Yeah.
And then hunt it, I guess.
Yeah.
See if we catch it on the day.
All right. Then let's do it.
Okay, I need constitution checks from everyone. Sleeping during the nighttime, please.
What?
Never done this before.
Literally never.
Son of a bitch.
Everyone sleeping
That's,
during the nighttime.
Oh, time.
Spooky sounds.
That's gonna be 3 ticks off the harmonic flux, man. As you wake, it is light time, and it is 2 light time, but you have refilled your uses of being able to move hexes for the day.
Alright. Let's try to follow it. Check the map and head that direction. Or where is it? Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, it is here.
Alright.
We should be able to maybe catch up with it, and then we can try to do some reconnaissance.
Let's do it.
Yes. Let us do that.
Okay. If you're moving, ping me.
Pursue. We are going to move after it at a pace in which we can be stealthy.
Moving slow then?
You're going to take 3 hours to get here. 2, 3, 4, 5.
The baby.
Right. You have the camouflage on the wagon, but I would still ask for a stealth check from everyone involved, please.
That's me. I'm involved.
Does Lankin want to drop a pass without trace?
Ooh, there's an idea. Pass without trace for 1 hour. So we'll use it in the 3rd hour. We'll know that we're going to get closer to it.
Sure.
Continue to travel rather than at the beginning of. So plus
Thank
10
goodness.
to all of these rolls is the long and short
Thank
of that.
goodness. I'm gonna pump a 1 into mine. God, I'm so glad I suggested that.
Me too.
Forte doing work tonight.
So I made a 17.
Good.
Jesus.
26 total for me.
37 from Lincoln, 18 from Park.
Is that advantage, disadvantage, anything? It's just plus 10.
Plus 10.
Okay, so I
Yeah,
gotta roll
plus
again.
10 straight roll.
Lincoln has faded into the Fae.
Oh my goodness.
Oh! Why you roll again?
I have disadvantage from plate mill.
Oh no.
Big oof.
Forte just falls out of the card.
Oof.
They're so quiet.
You all begin to slowly pull forward closer to whatever this thing is up ahead. As you are nearing it, the sound of the violin grows louder. Let me just heal these tokens real quick. That's back. Make sure and adjust your tokens if you have like a higher health for the level up.
Sure, Jason. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Y'all begin to press forward. The sound of the violin growing. And then up ahead on the winding path, you see something moving. Something different from just the same sort of stones and cobblestones that you've seen and rocky outcropping. And let me get ready to transition maps here. Sorry, I had to just put this all together.
It's all gravy.
Okay. Let me transition. Up ahead.
It's a giant cricket.
Giant cricket.
Exactly.
I don't like it.
Bobbing up and down, you see what looks like a polished mechanical gnome skipping along as it plays what appears to be a violin in hand.
Oh no.
It almost looks as though the violin that it has, that it is playing with, it's using a hand that seems to have like a conductor baton that has been fused to it as it just continues to skip along. You're all getting closer to it, sneaking up well. You all feel really stealthy. And then Forte, your big boot kicks one of the rocks below your feet that you did not see. The violin stops.
Sorry.
So much for reconnaissance.
The small little gnome-like construct turns to see all of you. It takes a second studying each of you. It raises one of its hands and waves.
If Opie's gonna say, "Is this the boss? He looks friendly," and Opie's gonna wave back.
He's just a little guy.
It keeps waving and begins to step closer to you all.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Mr. Gnome, have you seen a big bad boss around here?
It cocks its head towards you, Opie, and continues to come closer to you as you speak to it.
I pull up my hand crossbow and point up and say, whoa, 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 hold up.
It uses its baton and points it at Opie. And then it uses one of its mechanical hands and puts the hand up flat to its brow as it appears to look around, almost mimicking like it's looking around for the thing you're asking for, Opie.
And this would be like a big... Maybe you're looking for it too. Are you looking for a big creature?
It cocks its head and begins to wave the baton as it begins to shift around a little away from you at first. It points at the ground at its feet near the rocky stubble and then looks, leaning down, and then looks back over to you, Opie, turning just its head as it swivels towards you and shakes it no, and then begins to kind of frolic to another area. It bounds over here, points at the ground, and leans its head in, looking. It turns back to you, Opie, and shakes it again no. It then bounds over here. What's up?
If Opie's gonna yell at him, "Is the thing underground?"
It nods and then bounds over here and points down at the ground and leans down. It points with its baton and shakes its head yes.
I think the big creature is underground, you guys.
Oh, my.
Maybe this gnome was looking for him too?
The gnome pulls out its violin and then throws out its baton hand and puts the baton hand to the violin and cocks its head at you, Opie, as if almost querying you if you want it to play its violin.
Sure. Thumbs up.
It giddily kind of kicks back and forth from side to side. And as it does, begins to play a tune. As it does, you feel the ground begin to rumble underneath your feet. The shifting earth begins to give way. The area around the small gnome explodes into rubble as a massive construct thing shifts up out of the ground. A glass faceplate opens up and the creature slips inside of it and the faceplate closes.
What an asshole.
What an asshole.
This is like our second or first boss fight from the tycoons, that giant mecha we fought. The giant cat mecha?
The ground begins to rumble more. You see a little shit looking around. It seems almost a little worried. It begins to shift around in its ball uncomfortably. The ground in front of little shit explodes. Everyone throws your hands up reflexively as debris, rocks, and dust pelt you all. And as you look, as it begins to clear, you see a massive construct beginning to pull itself from the rubble below. I need you all to please roll me initiative.
What is this thing?
Wait, so maybe the gnome isn't the bad guy.
It got even bigger.
Find out real
Initiative,
soon.
you say? I didn't freaking click my token.
Oh, somewhere Luke is laughing.
Speaking of, should we?
Yeah, I'm
That
fine.
guy.
I'm fine to end early and wait for Luke. I was thinking the same thing.
Wait for Luke to kill us all.
Do we pour it out or do we fight this thing?
I don't know.
Well, we need to make
feel
some
like-
at least some knowledge checks on it first.
Yeah.
Well,
Try
I'm
to
fine if
figure
you
out
want to
what
do
it
that. Why
is.
don't you all roll your initiative, and then if you want, we're a little early, but this is a boss, so we could wait until next week for Luke to get back, and then fresh off at the new session, you all can make your knowledge checks and begin the confrontation if you'd like to. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm decision fatigue. I need somebody else. I need Luke.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Can you
Luke-
put me on the tracker,
Luke,
Jason?
Luke is like a really good cat herder. There you go.
Thank you.
All right. So as the smaller gnome is engulfed in a larger construct-like thing, and so too as it's engulfed in another menacing construct that almost looks like of some form of alien design seems to burst forth through the rock as it pulls itself out, staring at all of you. And that is where we will end tonight's session. So thank you everyone so much for hanging out with us tonight. I really appreciate it. I hope you all had a lot of fun. I know I did. A good in-between session as you're kind of, wrapping things up in terms of hunting down what's left of the baddies and maybe doing a little bit of some side questing action before heading into the last area and the last bit of our longest running side campaign, Lucent Odyssey. It's been super fun to run you all through all the different side campaigns that are kind of centered around the different Cosmo Consortium factions. So cool stuff. That's a good place to wrap so we can come back with Luke in tow next week so he can go, what the fuck did you all do? And yeah, that's a great place. If you haven't already, as I was mentioning at the beginning of the stream, if you haven't, don't subscribe to the channel unless you're using Twitch Prime. Don't give Twitch any of your money because the people at the top are a bunch of absolute idiots who are monkeys punching at keys on their keyboards. and they can't do anything right. So if you want to support me, please go over to the Patreon, support me there. You can do it for as little as $2. And if you want to come play in a game with me, I have Lucent Odyssey games rolling for people. So if you really enjoyed this and you're like, I would love to play a game that's like that, you can play in this one. I've repackaged it. You can come hang out, be a part of it. It is a pay-to-play game, any of those, but it's a lot of fun. The other one is a spelljammer-centric game. Both of them taking place in our homebrew universe. So very cool stuff. Make sure to go check those out. Hit me up if you have any questions. Go hang out on our Discord if you haven't become a member over there. That's it for this evening. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Drink plenty of water, stretch your legs, have a safe weekend. That's it for us. We'll be back next week to see how terrible and dangerous things are going to go here. But in the meantime, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
What do you guys think happened? One of the players Robbie played with got carried away and killed him.
Well, that's kind of far out.
Mazes and Monsters is a far-out game. Swords, poison, spells, battles, maiming, killing.
Hey, it's all imagination.
Is it?